YNW Melly back in court today. His attorney saying the state has not given enough evidence to this point to keep him in jail, but prosecutors say they have proven plenty that shows he needs to remain behind bars.
Oh, please don't you cry, I'm sorry. I just thought sometime I'll be home soon.
A story would say that YNW Melly only has one chance left to get out of jail before his trial in September 2025. The rapper YNW Melly's lawyers are working on their case against the evidence that the prosecutors showed the judge. YNW Melly will be released if it works, but when this happened, lawyers went online and talked about the release date and when it would happen. To fully understand, it's important to listen to what Bowie said about YW Melly, because he said that the feds are doing whatever they want with them, whether it's legal or not.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted him bad when they waited for that law to get passed. So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
For 5 years, this has been YNW Melly's life, with the feds being able to do whatever they want to him. This is a very sad truth, especially if you haven't known about it. A story said that this is why YNW Melly's mother is now suing the county jail where Mel is being held to help YNW Melly get out. YNW Melly sues Broward Sheriff's Office for Cruel Treatment and is seeking instant release from prison. Melly also says that they haven't let him talk to or see any family in 3 years, as even more strangely it would be shared. And Talk with YW Melly's mother painted a sobering picture of Melly's life inside a jail, making it sound like he will not last much longer, as during an interview, she was ranting over the fact that YW Melly was granted a mistrial. He basically beat the case with an 88% likelihood of someone receiving a mistrial getting a bond release or even house arrest 88% of the time. However, Melly was still left inside, and he's not even allowed to use a phone or even look at his own mail.
Son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
This would end up getting the attention of Charleston White, who would end up sharing that this is what YW Melly should be living like. He shouldn't get special treatment because he's a famous rapper, as he supposedly committed one of the worst crimes that you could ever commit.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
This, however, made Melly's mother extremely upset. Jamie King would end up revealing that she's totally heartbroken for her son. She feels helpless as he's not even being treated like a human inside a jail, which is only going to hurt his chances of getting released.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
This would end up getting the attention of all rappers, ERS, and celebrities in the business, as Bowie would go on once again to speak on the stress that Jamie King has been going through, as his own mother went through a similar situation.
She real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him. Cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good one.
However, YNW Melly's lawyers aren't going out without trying. His lawyers would end up bringing up evidence from the original trial, where Melly was texting his ex-girlfriend in real time when the crime was going down, when he was running away from the men that he claimed were using firearms against the vehicle that he and all the other YNW boys were in.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, he's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Zach and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
Proving that YNW Melly was being chased by a car with rival street members in it. But also in the YNW Melly trial was the prosecutors admitting there was no firearm ever found where you could see YNW Melly giving a pretty funny...
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
But the feds would end up retaliating. They would end up creating a 6-page evidence file explaining the reasons why YW Melly should not be released from jail. And after hearing it, you tell me if you would free them. They would make it real easy, starting out with YW Melly's cell phone, where he sends a text message hours after the crime, kind of committing to it.
PZ Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But also found on Melly's phone was a saved video from somebody's Facebook Live showing Melly and Borland's response to the crime 6 hours after it was done, dancing in a parking lot recording a music video.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey. The dog still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Melly's lawyers claimed that Melly and Borland were hired to record a music video on this day, and they couldn't delay it. So they put on a strong face and went out and recorded it. But others saw it as Melly and Borland not, showing an ounce of sadness for the passing of their two best friends. They then led into some new evidence that was found after the Melly trial was done, where recently a rogue Oblock member shared a secret that YNW Melly told King Von that Melly and King V were very close friends before Von sadly passed, and Melly was arrested. Allegedly, Melly was asking King Von for help on how to handle a situation where your two best friends are coming after you for financial gain.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put that, bro? Well, out the bam, I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
After further investigation, many realized the WW name is a registered business where Melly and Borland would perform concerts, sell merchandise, and do Instagram promotions, all exchanged for money, where they would then funnel all the money through the YNW bank account. So Jazer and Juvia allegedly believed it was a four-way split, with 4 YNW boys splitting 25% of the money, but they did zero work for it. But if you know anything about King Von's past and how he handled his own problems, you can likely guess the advice that King Von would have given YNW Melly to handle it, knowing how Melly handled it emotionally. The lead prosecutor then dove deep into the physical evidence of the crime, such as the Jeep that they were driving in, as during the original trial, Sergeant Williams revealed there is no way that this could have been a drive-by.
Assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by. And it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
You said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside of the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas is coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to Christopher Thomas, where did that
Driver's side back seat.
Oh. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time.
As with Williams, the revealing crime must have happened inside of the vehicle. This is when YNWJY's mother went to the stand during the trial, and she shared who was sitting there, as she has known all 4 YNW boys for the last decade.
And are you related to one of the boys in this case?
Yes, I am.
How's that?
His mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Miss Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
And is that a yes?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Jamel.
And Jamel, is that the defendant, Jamel Demons?
Yes, ma'am.
With the proof stacking up against YNW Melly, the prosecutors didn't feel like it was enough to make sure that he stays behind bars. So what they did next was pretty disturbing. They ended up targeting YNW Bort, who also got thrown into jail recently, as he would end up facing new charges.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
YNW Borland's home was raided by the feds, and they found paperwork stuffed into a bag. YNW Borland showed up to the original Melly trial for one day, and in doing so, he drew out on a piece of paper where all the jurors were sitting in the original Melly trial, a description of what they looked like and possibly what their names were, as a report would read. Here are the images of alleged notes found during the home raid of YW Borland's home last week, as filed into the Broward clerks by the state, where Borland doctored on a piece of paper an account of what the jurors looked like as DJ academics he couldn't get enough of.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Borland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Like, god damn. Holy sh**. You know what I mean? Like, brother, like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. Like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
As an example, if YNW Melly was sentenced to life in prison, WW Borland could have given this piece of paper to some serious street members to go out and get revenge for Melly against the jurors for sentencing him to life in prison. But these aren't the only charges that Melly and Borland are facing now, as even more were added.
State filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
These charges were linked to yet another YNW Borland mistake, as Juvie's father would end up exposing how Melly and Borland were witness tampering, and even what code words they used to make Melly's ex-girlfriend not testify against him in the original trial.
Both Melly, Jamel Demmons, YNW Melly, and Cortland Henry, who is known as YNW Bortland, are now charged with witness tampering. It sounds like the prosecutors are saying there was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
Saying like to me, they're going through extreme measures to try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom and